for people that don't know me, I've been writing since 2012, 2013, paying the bills for my books for the last 10, 11 years. As an author, I write sci-fi. So, I'm familiar with ads and what to do and the struggles that we all go through as authors and writers. And so really fun for me to finally crack that nut as far as, learn the dashboard, learn all the ads, learn the strategies, learn what works, get a chance to see. Because, a lot of times when you're a single person out there writing your books in your place, you either do ads or don't. And if you do them, you're using your own money and you're learning yourself. And one of the cool parts about coming on with Melissa is she gave me one of her accounts and said, go play and spend some money and see what works and see what doesn't work, which was really, really cool. And I think that's a cool thing that she does all the time, because she does, sometimes when she comes to you guys and says, this is what's working, it's because she's tried something that normally, if it was our own cash, we wouldn't try, like really bad cost per result. Do we leave that for a few days? Or this is happening, do we leave that? Or this is showing nothing, how do we wait for it to report? So I don't know if I'm just rambling, but that's a cool thing as well that that is really fun for me to be a part of. I've worked for companies before long ago where cash is tight and they don't have that R&D, but that's really important in this kind of an industry, that you're working with a group that's doing that. The other thing, I guess I'm going to answer the unspoken question. What have I liked so far about this? The other thing is
hold on 1 second.
Oh, sure. Is there a question?
I'm just still the tech issues. That's why I'm distracted. So I
still nobody can hear.
I don't know. Let me know, guys. But I shared the link to our Google Meet that Terry and I are in. So if you're having issues hearing, you can join this meet and you can just have your camera and mic off if you want. Or you can even unmute to ask us questions and talk with us. Everybody is welcome to join us in this meet. Both Terry and I are very chaotic people who love new things happening and can roll with it. So that link is there. And then I'm just going to wait for, okay, we have people who can hear and we have people who are coming in the meet. So we are such good problem solvers, Terry. Like already we're showing how great we work as a team.
Awesome.
So let me, we have people coming. So we'll just have to, for future, we now know this. We're always learning, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I added people in, so now people are here, Terry.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So people can continue to come and join us. We just ask that you're muted unless you're specifically asking a question.
I'm pretty comfortable with this. I've done a lot of Zooms, so I'm used to these rooms filling up.
Have you done this before, Terry?
Oh, geez. Oh, yes, we've done this before. I'm used to seeing 60, 70 people in a Zoom, which has been awesome over the years. It's great.
Okay, so I'm pinning you and me so we stay big.
Yeah.
We're learning. I'm learning a lot. Okay, perfect. Okay, we have a question. Do we want to finish your introduction, Terry?
No, I think that was it. I'm Terry. I'm going to do ads. I'm comfortable doing ads. We've got some good training. I don't know. I can talk all day. Every once in a while, if Sydney's still watching this, every once in a while when I'm talking about things, I picture my children, me looking at them and them rolling their eyes, and I say to myself, "Oh, I've said enough for that subject." So, yeah, I'm cool. Let's hear a question.
Yeah, and I just wanted to also say that you and I, like, since you've started, we'll have real quick 10 minutes. One of us will real quick 10 minutes, and then I think our record's 4 hours for a 10-minute call.
Yeah, quick 10 minutes.
So we like ripping off each other. So Rupert raised his hand, so I think he has a question. Rupert, if you want to unmute and ask your question, I'll do more tech.
Or you can type it in chat. I think.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
No, I have no question whatsoever. It was just to reassure you that I think we can all really hear you very well now on the Google Meet. It makes all the difference. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Perfect.
And welcome, Terry. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Yeah. So there we go. That's great.
I'll mute myself.
Mute again. Excellent.
So thank you for letting us know. It would have really sucked to do the whole thing and nobody heard. So
yeah, that would
just
have been
activator problems. This is what happens when I try to plan in advance. But in future, Terry, if we do more lives, we can just have a scheduled Google Meet, maybe.
Yep, totally. Excellent.
All right. So so you've introduced yourself as an author. When did you publish your first book?
2012, 2011. I think it was the fall of 2012 was the first one. This story's so common, right? There's so many of us that have been around even before that. But yeah, I posted my first book when I heard about books going online and Amazon started to make their books online. I was a little bit behind there, but yeah, I just was resigned that I was going to be self-published. Nobody was going to know me. I had written a little self-help book before that, not a self-help book, but a book about customer service. So I came from the business world, sales, customer service. That's where I spent most of my professional career. As management trainee, that's what I usually ended up in those roles. And one day, one of my staff said, Andrew, one of my staff said, we did these weekly meetings, and I would have a topic that I would talk about 5 or 10 minutes each time. And he said one day, why don't you just write this down? And I said, what? He said, write this down and write a book or something. And I said, because everyone's already read this. Everyone knows this. I'm just getting it from books. And he said, well, people haven't read it the way you say it. So why don't you do that? So either he was making fun of me and he just wanted to shut me up. Thank you, Andrew, for doing that. Or B, he really meant it. So I did that. I wrote a little tiny book called The Gold Apples, and it was about customer service, a little parable about a guy who gives great customer service. Then he gets invited to this special, he gets recognized for it. And it's a little, like Who Moved My Cheese or that kind of a story. And so that did well in that one. I had to print myself, fill the garage filled with books, hopefully sell enough so that you make your money back, which I did, which was great. I had some good customers and then I was using that as a calling card to work with companies. I worked with banks, I worked with insurance companies, I worked with car dealerships. Estee Lauder bought some of my books and we're training their people. So it was really fun. But then I saw this story for fiction and I wrote it. And yeah, so that's when I got started. Didn't make much money the first year or two, then it took off. And I've been writing ever since, 35, 40 books out there. And yeah, so that's my full-time thing that I love is writing.
Is the first customer service book still available?
It is, yeah. You can go find it online. The Gold Apples by Terry Schott. I didn't change my name or anything. It's like 50,000 words. I still like it. It's still a fun little book. And people do read it sometimes, which was fun too. I know you wanted me to mention that I also, I'm a certified CliftonStrengths coach. And I am, and it's funny because that kind of matches up with that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I mean, I feel I should tell the whole story, but of how I became the coach, but maybe that's boring, but,
well, let's, I'll redirect you a little bit because like I said,
or I can give a plug if you want or whatever.
What I want to know is how you use your knowledge of CliftonStrengths in your ads work and how you use your specific talents, your strengths in your ads work. I think that's a good way to merge the two, because obviously when we start a new job or role, we don't leave behind all of the experience. We get a different flavor.
Yeah, that's true.
The work.
Yeah. Good question. I've always been very interested in data. I'm a learner, very curious in how things work. When people say there's something new, does anyone want to learn? Yes, I do. The early adopter kind of thing. And I've always been, this sounds arrogant to say it myself, but I've always been pretty clever at figuring things out and helping come up with new ideas that seem to work. And so I was always rewarded everywhere for that. Always loved personality assessments, the Myers-Briggs and CliftonStrengths, and well, not Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, those kind of things. I'd never heard of CliftonStrengths before. Then a little author mastermind, 6 or 7 years into my career, I met someone named Becca Syme. So everybody would know Becca Syme here.
I know her, yeah.
We became fast friends, and I had never heard of CliftonStrengths. And so we talked every day about it, and I fell in love with, because that really helped me identify why I do the things I do. And I've always been fascinated with other people and why they do the things they do. And it turns out there's a certain few strengths that are into that. Individualization is one of my top talents, and that's really interested in that. And so I've always been good at gauging people, knowing people, understanding how they work, and helping them understand themselves. I enjoy, helping people grow and learn things as well. That's also a good way to learn, is to teach. And so that's always been what I do wherever I go, whatever I do. And so as an author at FIT, then I was so grateful and lucky to be invited to become a coach for Becca for years, which I still am. And that's been amazing. And so I brought that. And then because of that, I got to learn way more about CliftonStrengths and how do I use that? Most of the time, there's certain things that affect us all: uncertainty, fear, doubt, level of comfort with stress or risk or, you know, that kind of thing. And that's really helped me both for myself and for other people. So thanks to, well, even before, I mean, I remember when I first met Becca, she said, do you already know these strengths? And I said, well, no, but I know people. But no, learning the talents has helped me also become better at that. And so as a person, I've always been very good at helping people understand themselves and be comfortable with what they're doing. From an ads point of view, that allows me to ask the right questions. I'm always curious to ask the right questions. I don't like to make assumptions. So if you ask me a question and I'm not sure, I like to get to the bottom of it so we can both figure out what it is you really want. You know, people will say, I want more money. I want to know, what does that mean? I made really good money with my ads before. What does that mean? You know, because everyone's idea is different. And so that helps me get clarity, and with that clarity helps me figure out what the clients want, wherever I go, whatever I do. And that's always been my focus, is helping them get what they want. And so I always feel that I can help them see that. And with ads, it's going to be no different. What ads are working? Where do you want to go next? How are you feeling about this? Yeah, does that sound about right?
Yeah, as a longtime coachee, not a coach myself, I can say that you're very good. I don't know which talent this is. What's the sneaky talent? Is that strategic?
Yeah, there's a few, but strategic's pretty sneaky. Yeah.
It's one we share, but you're very good about planting seeds without anyone knowing you've been in the garden. And I've noticed that since you've joined the novel publicity team, like, you've really helped us optimize without even saying anything directly. And it's something I've really appreciated. And we've what's the word I'm looking for? We've kind of just joined forces on many things, including avatar marketing, which is the direction that ads and especially Meta are going. All book marketing is going toward intent-based vibes, avatar persona marketing. And this is something, when I first introduced it to the team, you were immediately like, oh God, yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I got super excited about that because, again, watching over the years, as authors, we join groups, we listen to people. And again, I always have ideas, and many authors, many of you will be able to resonate with this. You have ideas before anybody else does, or you have ideas that people think are silly, and then 5 years later, people are all saying it. I remember watching people do ads years ago with different courses, and me saying, how is such a broad, how there's got to be a way to figure out, the more you can figure out about your actual reader and pinpoint them, the better it's going to be to get in front of that particular reader. And of course, Facebook's done that with broad audiences or custom audiences. Find fans of the Matrix for my kind of books, find people of that. But with this new way that the Amazon algorithm is or Facebook algorithm is going, they want to be able to do that, right? They want to be able to take what you tell them about your product and then go find those people that like that product. And really what that requires is that you get in the head of your customer, you figure out who it is. And I remember seeing one lady did an ad years ago, and I don't think it was ever mentioned. Some of you might remember this. She said, everyone was getting 18, 20, 30 cents per click. And she came in and she said, I'm getting 3 cents per click. And here's how I'm doing it. She said, I've thought really deeply about my customer. And by that, I mean, what toothpaste do they use? Where do they eat their breakfast? Where do they, what toilet paper do they use? And she started targeting all for that. Now, I don't think it worked back then. It was probably about 5 or 6 years ago, but she was getting really low cost per click. And I thought, yeah, that's a really cool idea. So when Melissa said, this is the way the algorithm is going, Andromeda is going, I got really excited because, again, from a CliftonStrengths point of view, that is what I'm really good at, jumping into the head of that person. What do they like? If you've ever asked, when you think about a person and you think, yeah, but what might they be thinking, or what might it be like from their point of view? You'll know people that are really good at saying they're probably thinking of this or this. And many of us here are very good at that because why? Because we create characters, or we see these characters come into our lives. So it's not just one talent. There's a bunch of different talents that can do this different ways. But yeah, I've always been excited about doing that. So when I heard that and you mentioned it, yeah, I got super excited because it's a thinking exercise. I'm very good at building relationships, and I think about all those people, right? What might they like? And I think that's the way it's going. And I think that will help give us a little bit of an edge that thanks to you, that we're going there sooner. Again, I'm going to sound gushy here, but it all depends. The leader of every group depends where you go, right? If you've got someone where and again, I've always valued this wherever I go. This is why I only go certain places, but I value people where you go, I have this idea, can we do it? And thankfully, every place I've ever gone to be like, yes. But there's some places where they say, no, we don't want to do that. And then they go a different way and it's the wrong way. I remember when I was a kid, I waited tables for a company, and I had an idea about how to make things better. And the area supervisor was a great guy. And he said this, I'll never forget this. He said, we really encourage free thinking and new ideas, Terry, but not from our waiters. And I went, okay, fine. They wanted it from their managers only. But yeah, so that's why I got really excited about this, is because the things that the way it's going is right up our alley. Same with you, Melissa, right? Right up our alley. So I think that's going to be a benefit to people that are with us.
So since we've started talking, you've mentioned at least 4 different jobs. At least, I mean, like, that's being conservative. And I know you've had a lot more than that. Why advertising? Why now?
Well, I think everything I've ever been in is always ends up being, well, everything is sales or marketing or advertising, right? A lot of people hate sales. They hate advertising. But that's what we all do. We're all looking for attention. We're all trying to get other people to listen to us and get involved in what we were at. And either they do or they don't. So that's been, I've been at different companies, but that's what I end up doing is marketing and sales. And so it's just what I do best, what I gravitate towards. And I've got a lot of experience. So I seem to be pretty decent at it. I mean, there's always going to be better, but I'm always willing to learn as well, right? I think that's a really important thing, is that I don't claim to have all the answers. And I think that's good. I think it's really good in a world where things are changing literally day by day. And so that's, yeah.
And that, I mean, I'm not seeing a lot of comments, and I think it's because people are just so absorbed in what we're just naturally talking about. But I do want to say that you are welcome, if you're watching live in the group, to post a comment. If you're with us in the Google Meet, you're welcome to unmute and talk to us. Both Terry and I are neurospicy and willing to be interrupted. It's how we talk to each other. So please engage with us. Otherwise, we will, I can interview Terry all day.
Or they're really bored and don't want to listen and they're watching TV on the side, but I don't think so. A lot of people just
I don't think that's it. I think they're fascinated. Okay, one thing, you mentioned something that made me think, obviously I have not had enough coffee. It's early in Alaska.
It is early in Alaska.
Everything changes so fast with ads and tech right now. It's hard to keep up. And I recently kind of redid my role. And then I think Vanessa's unmuted. So I'll finish my thingy and then I'll be like, go. And then it will be your turn, Vanessa. Thank you. So I redid my role as CEO of Novel Publicity. I used to have a fairly large client list where I was doing ads for people. And then we got to the point where it was changing so fast, and I went from working 6 hours a day to working up to 17 hours a day, and that's the level to keep up with the changes in the learning. So one of the things we started, thanks to Terry, I think this was a co-discovery, is I have a team of, there's 5 of us in the Facebook ads and then 10 total in Novel Publicity, and every week we get on a video call and we talk and train for an hour to 90 minutes. So I have each of my Facebook ads specialists, Terry, Sydney, who's Terry's daughter, Marley, and Caitlin. We rotate who has to enter into the principal's office, but they bring amazing questions and knowledge of what they're seeing. I met with Marley this week, and she pointed out things I hadn't known about or consider, but because Marley put them on my radar, I'm researching and they'll be in the next roll-up. But I get to touch base with somebody on the team every week, and we record the meetings and we do meeting notes, and then the person that I've trained has to train the others. So each week we have, here are the notes, here are the main points, and then, like Terry, you were the one who first got to learn about avatar marketing, and then you got to teach everyone else about that. This week, Marley's teaching everybody about new practices for Germany and our approach to Christmas at the agency. But like, it changes so fast, but we're really on top of it. And Terry in particular, because we're both high learner. That's my number 2 and your number
4.
4.
Yep.
So we're both very high in the learner theme. And I also have all the influencing strengths, except for Woo. And I can explain something better if I'm teaching someone. So when I'm doing a course, I'm like, Terry, I have to record my whole Kickstarter course and I just need to explain it to somebody so that, because I know I can teach everybody watching the course. If I have a person in front of me, I can teach. So I make sure it makes sense. And Terry's like, you know, fuck it. Yeah, let's learn.
Mm-hmm.
So we've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a little behind the scenes as well. I don't know if I'm allowed to say certain things, so I'll just say I'm going to ask for forgiveness later, but that's a great thing that you've added. But what I saw as soon as I came in was there's a chat every day where the whole team is there. And so, you know, often you'll get people who are, well, it's a very generous, sharing, close-knit group of people. And when one person comes up against something they haven't run up against before, they'll ask very quickly, has anyone seen this? And usually it's a think tank. And usually it's like, yep, I saw this, do that. And it's like, oh, cool, thank you. So that's something that I think is really cool, that when you come on board, you're not, and again, it's not a pitch, but this is what I like.
It's a little bit of a pitch because you have openings, like, so it's
right,
allowed to be a pitch.
right.
We're still providing value too.
Right, but this is what I liked when I came on, when I started getting Melissa's company to do my ads, was that someone's going to know, right, that it's not just one person putting their limited knowledge on the line. There's a lot of knowledge for each of them, and they've all got years and years of experience, but they're also not afraid to ask and share that kind of stuff, which is huge as well, and you're not getting that all the time. So yeah, I like that, again, because I've worked in places like that. It's very, very, very good. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind too. Yep. And I think it's cool that you're doing that, because it allows you to stay, you've got to stay on top of what's going on. I mean, if as authors we try to, right? But again, what is it better to do? It's better to write another book. I remember the first time I struggled. I felt so stupid for not learning ads. I bought an expensive course and did it and everything. But then half the stuff that was on the teaching was no longer there. It's like, well, this dashboard no longer looks the same as the dashboard you're doing. So from a running it as a business point of view, it totally makes sense to farm this kind of stuff out. Just like I don't do my own law, I don't do my own real estate, I don't do my own stuff, but yes, good team that way. And yes, I do have, and well, that's another thing for me to say, because yes, I am still fairly new, right? Learning a lot. The training was awesome. And the trainers continue to take responsibility for us, which is great. So they want to be involved. And the fact that if I don't know, we're not afraid to say we don't know, but we can definitely find the answer.
Yeah, I'm learning things from you guys all the time, and I'm learning things from the group. Like some of the deep dives I've done, like somebody asked a question about my update this week about the Ask a Book and Rufus with Amazon, and like kind of the maneuvers, and that it's also moving to vibe-based marketing. And somebody's like, well, what about subtitles? And I'm like, I haven't revisited this for a long time. I guess I need to research this. And then I was like, oh, shoot. Amazon has AI image scans to see if your subtitle's on your book cover. And now they can catch you if it's not, and they can shut your account down. So as soon as this happened, I had subtitles like that. And I reached out to Tammy on the team, and I'm like, I just learned this because of the group, and we have to change all 6 million of my books. Thank you. And she does it. Tammy's the best. So maybe she'll go live with me someday, but we have our Facebook ads department, and then we have 2 in the marketing department, Becky and Tammy. And Tammy, I call her my enforcer because she's achiever responsibility, and she does everything perfectly and quicker than I expect. And I expect everything right now. So the fact that she can do it in the past, like, I don't know. But Tammy's really good with design and Shopify and websites and organization and admin and planning. And we have Becky, who is just brilliant at social media and so fucking positive. Sorry for the F word. It's who I am. But Becky, she does my fan mail as an author because I get distracted or upset. And Becky, she handles that. She does social media. She does really creative things, giveaways. And then we have Crystal and Mallory in the Amazon ads department. So we have the think tank for Facebook ads, but then we have the general company think tank as well. So we have 4 separate chats. One is assignments from Melissa of things you have to research, things you have to know, policies you have to be aware of. And then we have 2 of those, and then we have 2 think tanks. So we do, like, that's great to point out. I don't think people realize. So yes, Terry has a handful of spots open for Facebook ads. You can be among his first clients, and you get a discounted rate not because Terry's work is less valuable, just because we're about to raise our prices. And I've actually already raised them on the website. But if you sign before the end of the year, you get legacy pricing for 6 months. So that means if you sign up to do Facebook Ads Mini, that's $500 a month instead of $650, the website says. So if that is of interest, Terry knows his stuff and we can grill him more, like, unmute and ask him a question. Ronessa, did you have a question? We got all tangenty again. I don't know if it was an accidental unmute or if there's a question. Okay, just in case, but yeah, you talk now.
You do. Me be funny. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We respond well if there are questions. But again, people that have been I've been watching your videos, and it's you watching you do a presentation, so that's probably what everybody's used to. But yeah, I think you covered it well. What else do we want to say? I don't know.
Who would be a good fit for working with you, Terry? What types of genres, authors, pain points are you most excited about?
Well, you guys do really well with romance historically, really well with romance, and we've got some expert ladies who nail it. Which means I'm going to be good at it too. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
You have a certain look in your eyes whenever you're thinking about your daughter, Sydney. I just want to let you know that, like,
is it bad? Is it bad?
No, but I always know when you're thinking about Sydney specifically, and you just did it because you're talking about how our team is expert at romance, and you're thinking of Sydney, who's your daughter.
Is it pride? Can you see the pride in my face as I do it?
Yeah, it's like just so much love. It's amazing.
Yes, I'm a little goofy. I love my children. Yes, if you do hear me talk, and don't even start on my grandchildren. Oh my goodness, my grandson. But yes.
You can talk about Sydney if you want. You can tell people about the other advertisers, and Sydney's
Sydney's great, but they all Sydney, Caitlin, and Marley, they're all really, really good at what they do. I think what I'm excited about is doing that as well, coming into the fold and learning that, because romance is it, but there's a lot of other genres out there who are doing really well, and they do well with ads. And I would like to, again, when Melissa said earlier, her and I are similar this way, I do like to come in and play that long game, see what's happening, figure out what works, and then thanks to my own account, I've been sampling some other things that I can try myself. Melissa lets me try with her account, and I think with the new Andromeda stuff, that's going to help us see new possibilities. And again, when I say we're strong in romance, that doesn't mean we haven't helped other genres. We have, and we are right now, but I think that's going to even grow further. So I'm excited to work with thrillers, crime fiction, sci-fi, all sorts of different genres that way, and get them going. And again, it makes it sound like we're not already doing that, but I don't know.
Terry, a comment from Jay. I have my call with Terry, and we'll be starting with him in January. I write crime fiction and psych thrillers, all set in the UK.
Yeah, super excited to get those kind of calls. It was really fun to talk to Jay the other day. And but yeah, listen, here's the thing, right? As an author, it's really, we write our books, we put our everything into these things, and then I say this: you're so proud of your book. It's like putting a message in a bottle. You put the cork on, you throw it into the water, and before it lands, you hear it go tink, 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 and it's not even a message in a bottle. The ocean is filled with bottles. It's hard to get attention, right? And so we all know we have to do ads, and I'm just excited to be in this group because you guys get results. You get results. You get results. You get results. So so I'm excited to be able to do that and help you expand your business and expand my, to bring more people into this and make them into fans. I'm a big fan of customer service, raving fans, that kind of things. What did Jay say?
There's a lot resting on his shoulders. No pressure.
Listen, Jay, I don't feel what I can't spell. So if it's a big word, no pressure, no pressure.
I will say that it's really hard for a client to apply more pressure than I already do. To the team. Like, part of my process, guys, that Terry survived the gauntlet. Like, I told him the Hunger Games for making it through the hiring process. Because, like, one of the ways I interview people is I intentionally upset them, and then I role play a client spiraling so that they can calm me down in a way that makes sense. So that's part of the interviewing process. For the hiring process, I'm like, here, or for the training process, here's $300 a day, go make my books make money. And I will intentionally give them really difficult to advertise books where I know there are problems to see how they handle it.
Yeah.
So
well,
I like,
and the other thing again that I like about this company, and I'm just new at the company, this is what I tell, this is why, you know, I have a group of author friends, and this is whenever any of us find something new, we get excited, and this is the kind of talk we do. But here's the other cool thing. It doesn't always work for everybody all the time. And so that's, Melissa talked about this not long ago on one of your posts, right? If it's not a fit right now for you, or if you try it and it doesn't work, we're not going to try to string you along for months and months and try to get you to spend lots of money. We're going to use that expertise to say, these are the things we do. It's going to work, or not right now. I mean, I remember when Sydney started getting results on my books, I was like, holy shit, you give me 2 to 1 on my books, like a little more than 2 to 1. I'm like, I couldn't reach for money fast enough. I could give her as much as possible. She's like,
so important context, before you were a staff member, you were a client.
Yeah,
when was that? When Sydney started doing ads for you? Was that like 5 years ago? 5 years,
yeah, about 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. Yeah, and that's the cool thing. But again, very realistic. It's important, right? When you're hiring a professional, you want to get the right answers. They're not always the answers you want to hear, but it's really important to get those things, and that's what you get here as well. So again, the honesty. What do you call it? What did you call it? Radical integrity or something? Is that what you said? Aggressive integrity?
Yeah, you use either radical or aggressive plus the value. So we have radical transparency, radical kindness, and aggressive integrity are some of our core values.
Yeah. And again, I come from a world of business, right? I've worked for companies that are in 40 different countries, are doing tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, and that kind of stuff is favored. But I worked for companies that we did really well against our competitors and that kind of thing. So I value that: speed, integrity, honesty, openness, that kind of stuff. So that's, again, I get to continue to do what I normally do for Melissa. Yeah. So that's what I'm excited about. I don't know if anyone could get the real answer out of that. I kind of wandered all over the place for that answer, but yeah, I'm excited. I love to get better at stuff, right? Because that's the thing, you know, whatever you learn, that's the thing that people can't take away from you. And so I remember my papa saying when I was little, a day without learning is a day that you've wasted your time. He must have had learning in his life as well. But I took to that. And so this is a great opportunity for me to continue to learn more as we go forward. And again, bring us your challenges, bring us your things. And I think we've been honest and open up front with the people that have come on board. I think Jay, we just talked the other day, and I said that we're going to give it a try. We've got some great ideas, some great strategies. You've got some great products, and we're going to go after it.
Yeah, it's definitely an exciting time. Like, a lot is changing, but
that's a good question. What are you most excited about, Melissa, in the next coming 2026?
Not working 17 hours a day. I'm really excited about that. No, there's a lot of positive things. I'm really excited about the switch from SEO to GEO in intent-based marketing. I'm going to break it down for you guys in another post, either in the group or the Kickstarter, about, I think there's 2 types of marketing. We're just admitting a new person. Cool. Welcome. I think marketing is going 2 ways: vibe and tribe. So I want to build on that dichotomy, and I'm really happy that it rhymes. It makes it much more memorable for me. Sure. But vibes is the main way things are going. It's what's going to be the case 95% of the time. So the persona marketing, intent-based, emotions, reader promises, psychographics, that plays into my educational background in quantitative sociology and survey methodology. Like, it plays perfect to my background. And then on the tribe side, you have social proof, you have influencers, really people with cachet. And tribe-based marketing is getting harder. One of the things Marley taught me this week, I love that I learned from the team and I learned from the group, because I'm always learning too. Terry keeps mentioning learning. It's not because he doesn't know. It's just because that is the natural state of being. I probably learn more than anyone. I'm a full-time student of this industry, and then also vitamins, nutritional supplements,
Crystals.
and no, that's a special interest. I mean, like academically, I study what nutritional supplements, e-commerce, consulting, and photography are doing because they're ahead of what publishing is doing.
Right.
So I'm trying to future cast and see where we're going by studying other industries.
Yep.
Crystals are fascinating, but not a great example of great marketing. Although persona marketing, sure, definitely there's a persona, right?
Yeah.
But with one of the things Marley taught me in our call this week, she said I've noticed with a lot of clients that ads aren't getting social proof anymore. And that used to be the big thing, is that you serve the ad, and then people will comment, they'll heart, they'll react. And then that social proof, that engagement on the ad gets more people interested in the ad, and that makes everything work better. But Marley and I were able to notice together that Facebook is suppressing that. They don't want social proof anymore, which used to be one of the main pillars that I've taught, which is probably the first time Terry's hearing about this, because legitimately, I just learned the other day because of Marley, and then I've been thinking and researching, is they want to suppress social proof because they favor creative diversity. That's the buzzword for Andromeda. They want you putting up new and different ads all the time. They don't want you copying the post ID for social proof.
Yeah.
So they're not giving you as much social proof. But that is tribe-based marketing, which is more and more going to be like influencer. Your ARC team is going to kind of hit on both, because you've got, word of mouth recommendations, influence, and then your reviews, which we've talked about in this group, will lend into the vibe. Like, who's this for? What's the psychographic? What's the feeling? But those are kind of the two pillars. There's only two pillars left. All the other pillars have crumbled. Yeah. But that's what I'm excited about. I love seeing the industry evolve. When Novel Publicity opened in early 2011, our primary service was blog tour, Twitter view. That's Twitter interview, X, being interviewed on X. Yeah. And we haven't offered those services for over a decade.
Blog tours. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, we would do, just none of the services we used to have exist anymore. None of them. Yeah. Because the industry changes, and we don't want to sell you a broken product.
Right.
So
cool.
We keep adapting. My number 34 strength, adaptability.
Yeah. Very adaptable. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, so I don't know if there's no questions. I look forward to meeting some of you. If you have questions, cool. You can either put them in this post. If anybody has questions for me personally, it's terry@novelpublicity.com. You can send me an email anytime. If you have questions about me you don't want to ask, I guess you can ask Melissa or somebody else. But yeah,
if you want the best answer, ask Sydney.
I'm pretty straightforward. Yeah, you can go to Sydney. Sydney's like, I'm getting enough email. I don't need more email. Yeah, that'd be great. So yeah, I'm excited. It's pretty fun. And I like doing this. I like coming on, and it's funny when we do the calls too, right? I like to see the person. I didn't always like that, but it's good to do that.
Well, one of the fun things we've been exploring together is I study micro expressions a lot, which is why, Terry, during the call, I'm like, whenever you think of Sydney, you have a certain expression on your face, and I know you're thinking about Sydney. So I have a habit. I think this is influencing strengths and autism combined. Of I know what somebody's thinking, even if they don't tell me. And I'm not right 100% of the time. I'm right a lot, though.
Well, if you're just taking micro expressions, if you want someone to learn on, just follow me around, because I am the worst at hiding any expression from my face. You can tell exactly what I'm thinking all the time, which is not always a good thing, because
it's helpful. It's radical transparency.
Yeah, I often, even when I'm smiling, people can still tell that might not be the right thing that I'm thinking at the time.
The smile didn't reach your eyes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But it was fun. We had our company Christmas party. We do a Secret Santa gift exchange, and we had that yesterday. And I also have a reasonably high competition strength, and I'm like, we have to guess who got who, and we're going to keep score. And I was really into it, but I was watching everybody's expressions, and I would know who the giver was based on the expressions. And it's a fun hack. It's also how I read tarot, is I read people's expressions, and I know what to tell them.
Yeah. Well, and again, and that's why you get excited about figuring out what makes that individual the individual, right? For for who's going to buy this book. Who do we target? As Facebook gets rid of ways to target people, we have to target them in new different ways. And so that can be helpful too.
I think it just makes it more real. And I think it puts us back at the heart of why we do what we do. So even though change is scary, and it's not a small change. It's everything has been torn down and rebuilt in advertising and marketing, especially with Meta's just the first.
Yeah.
The rest are following. Amazon just, announced that's where we're going in January with Rufus. But we started writing to make people feel things and to connect with people. And then we got stuck in, I'm going to target this author, I'm going to target this TV show, and it gives you distance from your book, your art. And we're getting close again. And I think that's really exciting.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Awesome.
Thank you for coming in and listening to us talk. Sorry about volume controls. We'll have a better system next time. Let us know if there should be a next time. If you would like me and Terry to talk about a topic, I love it when I have a partner in crime. There's no crime here.
If we ever talk in person, you will never ask me to speak up. That will be the opposite. You'll be asking me to be a little quieter. I'm not a quiet person normally, so yeah, that's the
when they give me microphones at conferences, I'm like, I don't think you want to do that. Like, I will project.
Yeah, exactly.
But thank you guys. If you have questions after the fact, put them in comments. Terry welcomes you to reach out to him. Hopefully Terry will start interacting on some of the group posts a little more. I know he's been like, oh, is it my place? Am I allowed? And I'm like, dear God, yes, please. Please, dear God, talk to everybody. Like, they're amazing. Not dear God, because I'm sick of you. I like having help. And there's so much good information there. So yeah, Terry will be around.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome, for sure. Absolutely. Sounds cool. Exciting.
Well, enjoy your weekend, everyone.
You as well. You as well, yes. And thanks for taking the time out to see us and visit with us for a little bit.
Thank you very much.
All right. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.